Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, what up? What up?
It's just being the Joneses, and we are here for episode 14.
Episode 14. Man,
Mm-hmm.
came a long way.
Yeah. And we are talking about boundaries when hanging out as a married couple, right?
Yeah, or even I'm thinking that we can even extend that out to anybody who just in a committed relationship, period. Because, I mean, in
Yeah.
my opinion, because it's, you could be in a engagement with somebody and still expect that commitment. So I wouldn't want to limit it to just married. You know what I'm saying? We could do both. But to me,
Yeah.
it's
So committed
almost
relationships.
committed relationships. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we can
committed
do that.
relationships.
Yeah.
And because sometimes people don't feel like certain things apply unless they're married. So that's why. But
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
get that.
a committed relationship with the purpose to, I guess, move forward with the relationship to more serious.
Yeah, because you got to see what you got before you put that ring on it.
I guess for some people, it comes more naturally to
Yeah.
have, and what some things don't have to be spoken.
Yeah.
It just comes naturally to like know and understand these are the boundaries or the guidelines for things like that.
Yeah.
But some people do really struggle with those things in their relationship and have all kinds of problems like breaking up and all types of
Arguing.
issues because the boundaries aren't respected when it comes to like hanging out at different boundaries when it comes to that, like different issues that might be contributed to um the lack of boundaries.
All right.
They just don't, it don't naturally come to some people.
It don't. Some people feel like they should be able to do what they want to do, and regardless of how much they're in the streets or regardless of how much their significant other partner don't like it, don't like them being out that much, and or hanging out that much, but they feel like they can still do it because they're grown. They may pay bills. Who knows? I don't know. Everybody's situation different, but some people just got to understand that. Well, I think everybody got to understand that, the boundaries got to be set if you want to keep the success going, if you want to keep the happiness going, if you want to keep your partner happy so that y'all can, grow together and just be happy together and that will minimize the stress, minimize problems, issues that may occur, financial issues, trust issues, all those things.
Right. It's not about control, it's about balance, and
That's
it's about boundaries. And it's about respect, but disrespect looks different to different people and mean different things to different people. So what may seem disrespectful to me may not be disrespectful to the next person. Like someone else I've heard people say, "Oh, he need to be in. If it's a whole new day, it's after 12, like, and you out there, you know what I'm saying?" So they may find that disrespectful.
Right.
Some people may not find that disrespectful. They may feel like, well,
let them get a break.
3:00, they coming in the house, they may be cool with it. That may not be disrespectful to them.
Right.
But the point is that some people are struggling very hard with creating these boundaries. Some people are feeling like, one may be feeling like, okay, this is disrespectful to me. And the other one may feel like, well, I'm not a child, or, you shouldn't be telling me what to do or when to come in, or I should be able to do this, this, and this. And that is definitely an issue because not being on the same page when it comes to that can cause a lot of problems.
That's right. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones who got a spouse who you trust me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking back when we were living in Crestview and I went out a couple times, and both, I think it was about only 2 or 3 times really when I went out. Living in Crestview, there ain't much to do there. The nightlife is kind of whack, but we went out, and she always trusted me to go out, and I don't really have a curfew. I ain't gonna lie. And shoot, I was out, I think one time it was about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I came home. I mean, we were just hanging out, shooting pool, bar hopping a little bit, just hanging out, just guys hanging out, and she was perfectly fine with that, you know what I'm saying? but she knows who she's with as well. She knows I ain't gonna be out there wilding out. I never gave her a reason to not trust me, that I'm gonna just go out, have fun with the guys, and bring it on in. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mess up money. I don't, bills are being paid. I only went out when I can afford to. Sometimes I couldn't afford to go out. You know what I mean? Being in the military, most of that time when we were married, I was an E5. And you can look it up and see how much I'm making as an E5, with BAH. That ain't a whole lot. That's basically paycheck to paycheck. So, I mean, but sometimes, of course, I did go out. Sometimes you would go out, hang out with the girls or whatever.
Yeah. And
it was all good,
I was going to mention that, like, we gave each other that freedom to do so, but we was also respectful to each other with it.
Yeah, so, the respect.
At the same time, I would go with my friends, and he not rushing me to get back home.
No.
And if he want to make sure I'm safe, he could either look on the maps to see where I am,
exactly,
or contact me, text me, and say everything okay or something like that. Because in this day and time, like, you need to make sure that people are okay. Like, it's too much going on with, like, human trafficking and all of this stuff like that. So I definitely, like, feel more comfortable sharing my location and stuff like that. But
me too. I mean, even as a guy, somebody might knock me across the head, you know what I'm saying, and whatever. You can always look me up. And that's another thing that's funny. I'm glad you brought that up, because if anybody out there not want to share their location, then that's a problem. That's a big problem in my opinion.
Well, I've seen people online say that, oh, if I got to share my location, then we don't need to be together, blah, blah. And it's not about, to me, it's not about trust.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not forcing, like, we don't say, oh, you better share your location because I need to say, like, I honestly barely ever even see him on the map, or whatever. Every now and again, like, if, I'm trying to call him at work and he not answering, and I'm calling his phone or whatever, and I already know if his phone goes straight to voicemail, he's still at work. So, like, one of the things that I guess is convenient about it is, like, if I wanted to, let's just say I want to do a surprise, right? I can see where he is. So I know how much time I actually have to get this stuff together at home to do this surprise, or something like that. Like, I might want to run a bath or for him when he come home and he have a, what I'm saying, so I could see. And I forgot so many times that we even track each other that most of the time I call you and say, where you at? Because that's how much I don't look on it. Because most of the time I'm calling and saying, hey, where you at? Oh, or something like that.
And see, she when she mentioned my cell phone being off, going straight to voicemails, because I can't take my phone inside the building. I work in a secure facility. They don't allow cell phones, period, inside the building. So she knows that she called that phone, going straight to voicemail. And she called my desk, and I'm not at my desk.
Yeah.
And, I don't pick up. I'm probably in the halls or whatever. Probably with a little snack bar,
on the way to the car.
On the way to the car,
I'm like, you should be getting off. But if I get any concern or anything, I could just look on the map and say, okay, he's still at work.
Yeah.
Whatever. So he should be safe. Like, for instance, if a bit of something I heard about, somebody was saying something about an accident happening, and it was supposed to be like some big accident or something.
Yeah.
And I asked him where I could have looked on the map to see that wherever he was, but I didn't even think about it. I was like, where are you still at work?
Yeah.
Is what I asked. And he said, yeah. So I was like, okay. So I was just checking to make sure, because I knew he was going to be getting off at any time, whenever he was getting off. So I'm like, let me check and make sure that has nothing to do with him, because it's over there on that side where his job at. So just like stuff like that. So that tells me, but had he not answered that work phone, then I probably would have thought, let me look on the map to see, because then I would have been like, okay, cool. He's still at work. That's not him, whatever. So it's not, it has nothing to do with trust all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just more of, a convenience.
Concern. Because like when you go to Orlando or wherever, with when you and your girls get an Airbnb, I look, I actually pull it up. I pull up Google Maps and I track you on there, just to make sure everything all right. Because you're going down I-4 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I'll have it up, just look. And then when you call me or whatever, you say you made it. I'm like, yeah, I know. Basically, most of the time.
Yeah, and I actually prefer that.
I mean, that's the convenience of it,
Yeah, because if something happened, I want him to be able to, especially if I can't get to my phone or something happens and he's able to say something don't look right.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And that can save my life. So
anything.
I'm definitely cool with that.
You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I strongly feel like, hey, if you ain't willing to say your location, something wrong. That's a big thing. All that, hey, I'm grown. I'm not a child. I mean, like you said, it ain't about the trust. It's about, well, I guess sometimes it is about trust, but I mean,
sometimes
trust that I'm doing the right thing. Here you go. Share my location. Whatever.
Because I'm never looking at that and think, oh, he doing something here. Like that's never a thought in my head if I got to look or whatever reason. But so, I mean, and that can go into it definitely could go into hanging out, because if you are a person that typically share your location with the person that you're with, then when you go out, are you cutting it off?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
Are you cutting it off, and is that creating some type of trust issues in your relationship?
Yeah.
Right. So, and then are you getting on the defense if the person asks like, hey, I didn't see your like you cut off your location or whatever, are you getting on defense? So like,
but I think it'll show like when the last time I know for a fact it shows last time it was updated. And so if you hit that refresh on the maps and it's not updating or something wrong with it, then more than likely they turn the location off. I think that's how it works.
Yeah. Because I know with Google, I don't know about like 360 and all this other stuff people use. But with Google,
or like Apple Tracker, whatever they use. You know what I'm saying? Apple location.
It's really normally give a notification if the person starts sharing with you.
Okay.
But I like people to go know.
Yeah.
Where I
leave mine on all the time. So it ain't no problem to me.
Yeah.
We share with each other. I mean, we family. Even Cam on Cam's phone.
Of
location
course.
always on.
Definitely.
And he take his phone when he goes to his sleepovers or whatever, and it's just on.
Yeah. So without establishing those boundaries with, okay, how does this look? The hanging out look, the friends, family, whatever. How does that look? Some people, like I said, it goes without even having those extensive conversations. Some people need to have those extensive conversations.
Definitely need
to. So for people who need to establish those boundaries, the reason being is because if you don't, and it's creating issues in your relationship, you either gonna continue to have those issues in your relationship, or somebody gonna be unhappy about how you handle the situation. It could possibly even lead to breakup, divorce, whatever. Somebody feeling disrespected or not, their wishes not being honored or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's about the boundaries, the balance, creating that respect, feeling comfortable with how you're doing that. And everybody's relationship will be different or look a little bit different when it comes to that, like what it looks like. Like curfew, for instance.
Right.
So you talked about curfew. Some people don't feel like they should have one. They might feel like they can come in 6 in the morning and that might be cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the other person upset, like you said, you went out, you wasn't somebody who went out all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like every weekend or however, it's like you just gone in the wind and then you whatever. Yeah. And so some people need that.
Yeah, some people gotta have it.
Some people need that to say, okay, and then some people is more like, okay, I'm just going home. Like it's time for me to go home, you know. So it'll look different. And I think if that's something that's needed, that's something that should be talked about and established.
Yeah. Compromise.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to go out. What's too late for you, babe? You know what I'm saying? I mean, as simple as that, and some people may not feel comfortable with their significant other being out past, like say 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
That may be, or 12, like you say, the next day, I need you home. I mean, if that's how they really feel, then, and especially I think it should be respected.
Especially if there are trust issues in the relationship.
Especially if there are trust issues. Yeah.
If there was trust issues in our relationship, ain't no way that I would have been okay with him coming home at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. For real. So
and that's understandable.
Yeah. So when you do things to break trust, you have to also remember that it takes time to rebuild that trust. And sometimes you have to do the things that it takes to rebuild that trust, which might mean that how you move or the things that you do may look a little bit different than it used to help that person to feel better about what you're doing.
Yep.
So like, okay, I'm going out. That's already an issue in the mind right there because you're going out. But I'll be back by this time, baby, let me turn my location on so you know that I'm at this place. Not saying you can't cheat at any location you at, but if that's something that helps to settle the anxiety of that trust,
that will help
because you have that trust, those trust issues going on in your relationship.
Yeah.
If you know you was
doing wrong at 2 a.m, say, hey babe, I'll be home by 9. Is that good? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you put yourself in that situation, then you gotta do something.
Yeah.
To step being, because you want that trust. Otherwise, what you together for?
Yeah. And then the places that you frequent. So some couples have an issue with their significant other going to clubs,
strip clubs.
So is this something that you talk about and establish? Like, I find that people that's dating, depending on the level of their commitment, that really may not be a huge issue. But when you start getting into a bigger commitment and marriage and stuff like that, sometimes people feel like, because I've heard guys say, like, it's no reason for my woman to be going to the club. Like, only thing you go to the club to do is meet people, like, or whatever, hook up, whatever. And that's not always the case. Like, literally, like, sometimes just going off with your friends and having a good time, it could be something that you're doing innocent fun. It's not always the case, but that's, like I said, it's a relationship by relationship basis. And you got to know that the person that you're with, when they get into a certain level of commitment in a relationship, that's not something that they would like for the person they with to do.
Right.
So
I can see it from that perspective also, but from a man's point of view, I can see why guys say that, because say they may allow their wife to go to the club, and they know that guys are gonna probably be looking at them, targeting them. Hey, babe, let me buy you a drink or whatever. Who you here with? All up on, and how the clubs are in Jacksonville. Guys sometimes be grabbing girls like, hey, what's up? And just grabbing their butts or hips or whatever, all those things. And the girl may be there, the women may be there just to have innocent fun, hanging out. But I mean, it's just a perception and the situation that they're in, that they're in a club. A lot of guys, even some of the women, gonna be hitting on them. You know what I'm saying? And don't nobody want that really. Even it's gonna happen, but at clubs is like definitely, the chances are increased that it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? They'll get hit on.
I mean, somebody could do that in Walmart.
Somebody could do that at Walmart, but in the club it's different. Club and Walmart is different because
it's still
because nobody gonna come up in and grab your hips in Walmart.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be on the doggone paper towel aisle and somebody be like, "Hey, babe, what's up?" You know what I mean? That's a big difference. I mean,
even
it can happen
anywhere. She could be like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, move back. I'm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But it happened though.
So
it happened. That's what I'm getting at. Because it ain't gonna, what's the chance that's gonna happen in Walmart?
Okay, because somebody walk up and grab somebody here for 2 seconds. What I mean,
I'm just saying. I can see where guys be like, well, no, I don't want nobody all on my woman like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
I understand.
Of course,
I understand.
Of course you would, because I wouldn't want nobody, backing it up on you when you at the club.
There you go.
If you went to the club,
there you go. All right.
But I mean, I trust that you would be like,
chill, stiff arm.
If you got to, if you gotta push her on the floor, you gotta push her on the floor.
Yeah.
But
but see, that's what I'm getting at. That's the difference. So I can see where guys would be like, nah, my woman shouldn't be in a club like that. Or at least not so late. Whatever.
Yeah, well.
It's real.
Yeah, well, I guess.
So you think it's all right?
No, well, what?
Like, I'm saying not all, well, I guess not all right, but what I'm getting at were guys or anybody think that way.
Well, I can understand it. That's the way they think. I mean, they know what they was in the club doing. They know that they probably met their old lady at the club and what they did. So, I mean, but
I'm saying I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with. I can see where people think that, and there's nothing wrong with how they think about it.
Right.
But they may still trust the other person.
Yeah.
They may still trust their partner. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
they don't want them to be in that.
They really don't want it.
I
They
get
really
not
don't want
wanting them to be in
there.
that environment
Yeah.
because that's the same thing as a lot of women. They don't want their man in a strip club environment.
Yeah.
But that's different. To me, it's different because ain't nobody in the regular club just taking their clothes off and coming and lap dancing on.
But look at how people dress. Well, all right, look how women dress when they going to clubs.
But when you go to the strip club, you are going in there. You probably going a lot of times you're getting a lap dance. That's sexual.
Okay. Not always, but okay.
Not always, but there is sometimes.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it may.
You giving away the money out of our household that I could be spending at Target if you were to go.
Target.
You know what I'm saying? They giving out they old lady Target money. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
but that may be true, but or I'm saying again, look how some women dress when they go to regular clubs.
Okay.
I mean, they got so much everything popping out and showing. Anyway,
okay, so then the woman need to be concerned with their man in the regular club too. Then,
depending on the man, I guess. Yeah. But that's not much difference between like a regular club and a strip club. That's basically sometimes
I disagree.
Sometimes a regular club is worse because you can do more. Shoot, you can't go to a strip club and just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
there's rules and they have their boundaries, whatever. Shoot, while you're getting that lap dance, you can't be, you can't be doing all this and your hands free. That ain't how it works. Shoot, you got a 300-pound dude standing over your shoulder, waiting on you to do something, waiting to drag you out there by your neck. But in a regular club, you can do whatever. So that's the differences.
Well, boundaries when they need to talk about boundaries when they go to the club. What's your behavior?
Yeah.
But
all that got to be talked about.
And some people don't. Some people know how their significant other behave, especially if they've been drinking or something.
Yeah.
So they may not feel comfortable with it.
That's right. Yeah.
So maybe they may be okay. Well, I'm gonna go out, but I'm only gonna have 1 or 2 drinks because I'm gonna know my limits when it comes to because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want to be on top of the table.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, they wilding out or whatever.
Coyote Ugling up in here, all on tables and bars dancing. Yeah, I mean, definitely, people got to know their limits. Yeah, they know how to. People know if I'm drinking, I start wilding out, then whatever.
Me and my friends just used to go have some good old innocent fun.
Yeah,
and that's it. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
me too.
When we used to go to. When we used to go to Sweetwater, it wasn't in there but old people anyway. They used to be trying to holler at you, whispering all in your. I remember this one man go come up to me on the. He was whispering like, I don't know what he was saying. It sounded like he was just saying. The man had to be like, I'm like, man, you is like 60, 70 years. Oh, what you doing?
Hey, but a lot of guys went like that. You came home and tell that to some guy, and they be like, hey, you ain't going there no more. I can understand that.
Man. That was crazy.
I mean, shoot. What we talking about? Curfew or something?
Oh, we talking about no, we were talking about places.
Places, yeah. Places, strip clubs. Oh yeah. I mean, it depends on who you with, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't really care to go to strip clubs no more. I did a lot of that in my 20s, 30s. Definitely before we got together. But I mean, I don't know. Sometimes even when I was single, I would go to strip club. We would just go to strip club just to chill out, just to have a talk, whatever. Shoot some pool. I mean, yeah, you got exotic women out there, doing their thing. But we just hanging out, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I was single. But yeah, some guys shouldn't be. And see, all right, so I probably would have went to strip clubs after we got together if you was okay with it. But the area where we were at, they were whack anyway. I hadn't already been there anyway before we got married. So I knew they were whack. But because you don't think a married man should be in a strip club, I didn't go. You know what I'm saying? I just stayed away from it. So, But some people
don't think that. But I don't think, I'm going to rephrase that. I don't think my married man should be in a strip club. Anybody else married man could do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Nah. So, they can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
They ain't got nothing to do with me. But me personally,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And
like,
I got my own reasons.
Yeah, you didn't want me in strip club, so it's all right. Whatever. These clubs whack anyway, so that was easy.
Yeah. Did you feel like you was being treated like a child?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Nah, it's just one of those things. Whatever, give and take.
I've been to a male review and all of that stuff before.
Yeah.
I think we was we together? I don't even think we was because I would have told you.
We couldn't have been together.
So yeah, I mean, one of my friends one of my friends invited me to that something they was having or something, and so they had like strippers there or whatever. Yeah. Guys, if that's what you call guys.
It's still strippers. Hey,
it's strippers. So, but yeah, and I mean, when I was young, I went to a couple of strip clubs. But it wasn't like I wasn't the type to be out there putting money all in fannies and booties and stuff. Like
I mean, it's fun. You help out the college girls. Single moms. They need that love too. Shoot,
you didn't feel that way on the strip in Vegas when them girls was asking you for money.
Hey, because I know what you was gonna say.
Whatever. Those two
I would have tipped them.
No, the two with the pink on and that got an attitude with y'all because y'all didn't when we was on the new strip then and they got an attitude with y'all. You tipped the girls in the old strip. Yeah. But on the new strip it was two women and they had on the pink feathers.
I don't remember that.
They got an attitude.
I don't remember that part. I
your homie.
I remember the old strip. So I tipped them on the old strip.
The ones who had me in the handcuffs.
Yeah. Okay. I gave them like $20, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they wanted more money.
They were asking for more. They were asking for more money. I was like, hey, y'all better split that.
And we was just out on the strip, literally. But y'all, if you've been to the old strip in Vegas, you already know how it is.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. So,
man.
So I guess that has to be the strip club or clubs or wherever the places are.
Yeah.
Whatever place it is,
juke
joints. Has to be casinos. Some people don't have, all of that has to need to be a boundary or something you talk about to say, okay, we may not go. This is something where we're not gonna go or something. Or I'm not comfortable with this.
Compromise.
A compromise, or something.
Hey, honey, if you want to go to a casino, you're not the best with money. You did splurge the rent money but you bet on black, you lost. So if you want to go to the casino, let's do it together. So
I can make sure you spending only these $20 when we get up in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so places and then out of town trips. That goes into kind of places. So like I know I've done trips with my friends.
Yeah.
And but we definitely sometimes it become a problem, I think, when people don't make time for each other. And all they do is go places with their friends and go out of town with their friends and go here with their friends when they're in town and and don't make time for each other. But I've seen women that said, I've seen women say, and men that they don't feel comfortable at all with their significant other going out of town without them on an out of town trip, if it ain't family or something like that. Right. But they prefer to go together. Some people it's not about even the comfort. Sometimes I prefer to go together. Like I've seen people say I prefer to go together because they want to make these memories and experience these things together.
I get that. Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. Like me, I'm one of those people that like, I don't mind doing out of town trips with my friends, but it's certain places that I want us to experience together for the first time. So I would prefer that we do this particular thing together for the first time.
Yeah.
Versus, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So because of the experience and the memories and stuff like that, versus me experiencing it with somebody else.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So, yeah. So it's just different reasons.
Yeah.
So like those are just things that again have to be discussed as far as like if you're moving into a committed relationship or you're taking your relationship to the next level at any time it's like, okay, well, let's discuss some of these things, because what you don't want to do is sign your lease together or get your mortgage together and all of this stuff and then think that all these things are going to change just because you moved in together and y'all didn't have a discussion, because this other person might be thinking, okay, when we move in together, I'm still going to be doing all the things that I was doing when I had my own place and she had her own place, or vice versa. And now y'all moved in together, and now it's a shock. Oh, now y'all having these live-in together. You know, and if you sign the lease, that's a 12-month lease. If you sign the mortgage, oh my gosh. So they may just feel like, dang, I didn't realize
that they were still gonna be doing this or whatever. Yeah. That's why compromise, have them talks.
Have the talks.
Get some understanding. And then
create the boundaries and see if there's something.
And then try to move in together.
And don't be tricking nobody, saying that I'm good with this, and then when y'all actually get in together or y'all get married and you think they locked in or whatever, that you can now change your mind and say, well, I'm not saying it's nothing wrong with changing your mind, but don't do it in a way where you thinking, oh, I'm gonna just go with the flow until I get. Now, if something happened and you change your mind, or the person just doing things and you find it disrespectful and they don't, they're continuing to do those things, and having those conversations and being able to say, hey, this happened. I felt this way about it. This is what I would like to see, whatever the case may be, and move forward from that, but not trying to just go along with the flow just until you feel like you got somebody where you want them. And then boom, it's like, now this, whatever, be real with yourself and with that person. Yeah,
don't be scandalous.
Yeah,
because if you're gonna say something before you move in, mean what you say.
But definitely, it's a lot of people don't have really an issue with their significant others necessarily hanging out. It'd be more so of the time that you're doing it. Like you're always gone. Yeah, we don't spend time together. Like you're not prioritizing time with the person that you're with. Right. Or with women, for instance, it might be like, okay, I got the kids at home. I have to find a babysitter before I can go out and hang out with my friends, but you can get up and go whenever you want, and you're always gone or planning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's a big problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a woman shouldn't have to, if she's, if there's kids involved, she's being there with the kids. Even, she may be a homemaker, housewife. I mean, fellas, but hey, let me, come Tuesday and Wednesday, hey, baby, I'm gonna get the kids this weekend, or I'm gonna stay home with the kids. I'm gonna have your car washed and everything. Make sure you have money to go hang out with. If girls want to go to brunch, y'all want to go out. That's got to be. The woman shouldn't have to get a babysitter to want to hang out. You
would be surprised how many situations it's like that. Like,
that's pretty messed up.
Yeah,
that's messed up.
And the man could be living in the house. I'm just saying. Yeah. And then she still have to find, because he always got plans. Always got plans. So balancing that time is a huge thing, because you want to make sure that you are giving your relationship and your family, your household family, the amount of time that needs to be, that, that's healthy for that relationship to thrive and grow and stay healthy and all that stuff like that. And then if you're not balancing your time, of course, somebody's going to have a problem with the fact that you gone, or whatever. But, and so,
because she thinking, when I'm gonna get some time.
Yeah.
Spend some of that money on me.
Or he thinking that.
Or he, yeah.
But sometimes men are the homebodies, and the woman may want to go all the time, and he may be like, okay. So what about when one person like to hang? Like, I've seen the situations where it may be a guy. The husband might want to stay and hang out at home most of the time, but the wife like to go do things.
All right.
So there has to also be a balance with that, because if you don't want to know, if he don't ever want to really go anywhere, and she likes to go all the time, then that could create some issues, because he might want to spend the majority of that time in the house watching a movie or whatever. And maybe she'll give him that time, but at the same time, she might want to get out and go too. So maybe sometimes she'll want him to go, or if he doesn't want to go, she'll still get out and go. And then because he may not have that desire to go hang out, then he want her to be that homebody as well.
I think the older I got, the more I've seen that scenario with guys wanting to just hang out at home more. Because and it's mostly, I can say guys with money, careers, they made their homes a place where they are very comfortable. They buy things for their house to where they know they want to stay home more than going out more and spending money. They rather spend money in the house than away, so that when they are home, they're very comfortable. And I'm kind of like that too. I can stay home. I like to go out, hang out, and everything. But I make my home a place where I'm home. I'm comfortable. I'm having fun at home. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, going out, let's face it, you got gas. Okay, you're gonna want to eat. You got to pay to get in somewhere. Some places, you know what I'm saying? That bit that adds up. And you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with either, but yeah, finding that balance, like saying like if your significant other want to go out more, then yeah, you gotta break out of that. Got to break out of maybe your comfort zone or whatever it may be, and hang out. Take your significant other somewhere or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Balance again. Yep. And then, because if you don't want to go outside the house and hang out and do anything that she or he wants to do, then you can't also necessarily want them to always stay in the house because you want to stay in the house.
That's
too.
right.
Because
that
you got to think about, some people get out and they do things because that's what balances them.
Yeah.
Even mentally and everything like that. So they may have a certain thing that they like to go do that they feel like this is going to help me to feel better. This is going to have me balanced. This is going to prepare me for the week, or this is going to prepare me for the next day, or whatever. Or I just really need to get out and do this. And sometimes they want to enjoy it with the person they with, not always like a friend or by themselves or something like that.
Yeah.
That time is very, very important to even, to balance out and even out as well, and not, always trying to go out all the time, if it's a problem with the person that you're with, because then you going out don't become the problem, but the amount of time that you spend going out then becomes the problem.
That's right.
So like they may not have an issue with their spouse or someone going to the club, but they may have an issue with the time you come in the house and how often you're going. So then that's where the compromises need to come in at. So, and then the money spent, the amount of money. Sometimes you don't have the money to spend doing these things, but you're still going out doing these things
anyway,
and putting your family in a uncomfortable financial space.
Yeah.
So
because clubs, you go to clubs, more than likely you want to buy some alcohol, you want to buy some cocktails, and those drinks ain't cheap. Shoot, you could have been buying food for the house.
Or out there buying all your friends' drinks.
Or doing that, splurging.
Yeah.
Like you got it, but you probably don't. You know?
So that's another thing. Like you got to address, if that becomes another issue too for some people. Like you going out spending all this money that we don't need to be spending.
That's right.
So then
all those things.
Yeah. So everything about going out and hanging out is not always about trust. Some things are about just doing the things that make sense, like the spending and stuff like that. The amount of time you spend doing it, allowing the other person to also be able to have time to themselves if there's children and stuff like that involved.
Yeah.
The people you hang out with, like it always a mess when you hang out with John, like, or or Felicia, or whatever the case may be. Or are you hanging out with people of the opposite sex that your spouse or the mate don't necessarily approve of, and that's another conversation to have.
People they don't know about,
or people that has maybe try to cause issues, and then so that was another boundary that your mate or the mate might have tried to establish, that I don't feel comfortable with this person, and it's like, well, I'm grown, tell me what to do. I mean, so at some point if you're going to be in a relationship, it's going to be give and take.
That's right. It has to be.
Yep.
In order for it to work.
Because if that other person that much more important, then
that's a problem.
I mean, I don't know if you need to be here.
Yeah.
I think you might be in the wrong place, address or something.
Yeah.
So, and then that also sparks suspicion. So is that's serious?
And I've seen that situation so many times where, there will be a couple in a committed relationship and there will be somebody on the outside causing problems. And there will be somebody who don't agree with it, them hanging out with that person, but they do it anyway and take up for the outside person. And then it never works in a relationship. I've never seen where it worked.
Yeah.
They always end up splitting up.
Yeah. So not only they may be hanging out way more than the other person would like for them to, but also with people or a person that they're not
shouldn't be
comfortable with them hanging out with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you have to think about when you're thinking about these things and commitment and stuff like that. I think you have to think about everything that comes along with commitment, with the person of being committed to the person that you're going to be committed to. Because a commitment to me might look, being with me, that commitment might look different too than on some levels than being with another person. You know what I'm saying? What that commitment might look like on certain levels. So every relationship, of course, would be different, but what makes it an issue is when it becomes an issue within that specific relationship, and then that's the problem, because it's not going. If this is what works for them, and they don't mind if their husband coming in at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever, or they'll see you the next day. I'm going out on the stage on such and such sofa, and I'm gonna see you the next day. Then that's what works for them if it works for them. But if it don't, and it's the issue, then how are you going to fix that issue?
How are you going to move?
How are you going to sit down, have that talk, be adults? Because if you're not a child, you got to act like you're an adult, right? So have those talks and create those boundaries. Because if you want to be with the person and you said that this is I'm committed to this, then you're committed to this. So you got to think about, am I committed to this, or I'm committed to the other things that I want to do,
such and such,
in the streets,
the club or whatever,
or the people, or whatever, or my family members. It can be that. So what am I committed to?
That's right.
And how committed am I to this relationship?
And if you're married, you really automatically committed to your spouse. That is your priority. He or she is your priority. So I mean, that's without a doubt. And their happiness, I mean, shoot, you got to live with this person, ideally for the rest of your life. You marry them, and I mean, you might as well compromise and establish some boundaries and have that commitment, that hard commitment.
Yeah.
You got to change the way you walk when you're married. So.
Yep. Exactly.
It makes things
something
easy.
About life got to change. Like some people say when they got married, people say they change. Well, of course. I mean, of course. What do I supposed to stay single while I'm married? Like,
you're supposed to change.
It's just certain things that you do change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times when people don't make any changes, it doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't work.
That's right.
So, yeah. So therefore, it's. A change is gonna.
I mean, that's like when people have kids, they change.
It's the
same thing. I mean, some people.
And when they don't, it don't work.
And when they don't change, it don't work out. But I mean, you hear a lot of guys say, or even women, but mostly guys, they may have been running the streets or whatever, and they be like, "Shoot, I got a kid now. I got to stay home. I got to get my stuff together. I got to get a job."
That's a lot of guys, because you something, because. Some of the ones I be seeing, they ain't got no responsibilities, but they
and they lose in the long run. I'm pretty sure.
So, yeah, that is boundaries with hanging out with friends, family, and all of that, and finding what is respectful for your relationship.
What works?
What's going to keep it good and happy?
Stress-free.
Because that's the goal, like, for real. Who want to be always at odds?
I'm telling you, I do not want to be one of them guys who hang out at work more just to avoid coming home.
You always say
I'm telling you, I think I see that junk, because there be people at work. And they be like,
you have made that clear.
All kind of.
I want to be that guy.
I will not.
But I mean, I don't want you to be that guy who don't want to be home.
Right.
So you should be able to be home and be peaceful. At peace.
Because if I ain't got no peace here, I gotta go to strip club.
And then you
I gotta pay for that piece.
and then you'll come home and won't have no peace again.
Then I'm back at the strip club. Paying for
And
peace.
then it'll keep going in the cycle. So
Paying
then
for
what
peace.
happens?
With my location on too, paying for peace.
I guess I'll be coming to the strip club then.
Boy.
Sitting there. You gonna get her $2?
Hey, me and Cinnamon.
What you doing?
Me and Cinnamon don't want you there. Hey, you stay home. There's no room for April. It's only me and Cinnamon.
Woo, child. But,
Yeah. All right.
but okay. So
Fun talk.
create those boundaries, y'all.
Please.
And we will be back with another episode of Just Being the Joneses in two Tuesdays from now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we kind of know what we're going to talk about then, but I don't really want to say that because that could change. So therefore, just join us. Don't forget to hit the like button.
Subscribe,
hit that notification bell. So
comment, let us know. Share some of your experiences with us.
Yeah,
Have
do y'all think curfews are needed?
Yeah, y'all had to set curfews, set boundaries, set like friends you work out or hang out with. Have you had to do it for your significant other?
How y'all feel about sharing y'all location?
Yeah, I definitely want to. That's interesting.
And all of that, you know. So, yeah, let us know. And it's Just Being the Joneses.
Y'all have a good one.